few days ago, I made a video titled Top 10 Worst Survivor Perks in Dead by Daylight. Well, today, I'm going over the top 10 best perks and why they are so game-changing whilst also being fun to use. These perks are not only a must-bring, but can literally range from saving a lost game to making you a better player. With that being said, let's get on to the list, shall we? Slugging is pretty annoying, right? A killer downs you, then leaves you to go for another person. What if I told you this isn't a problem? If you bring Unbreakable, that is. Unbreakable is a pretty rare perk to get value out of in a trial, but once it's used, it really makes the killer regret leaving you on the ground. Unbreakable allows someone to fully recover by themselves once. Even though this is a one-time use, this can quite literally make the game a win if you do your actions right. In my opinion, this perk is better than Conviction because 1, you don't need to get 100% healing on someone. 2, this does not put you down after 30 seconds. 3, you don't need to bring Soul Guard. And 4, it's free. Unbreakable is at number 10 because of how rare these occurrences can happen, but when it does, you have a huge chance of winning as a survivor. What if there was a perk that gave you infinite endurance? Well, that would be really insane. But what if I told you this is somewhat already in the game? At number 9, we have Dead Hard. When I say that this is somewhat an infinite endurance perk, it kinda is. After you are unhooked or unhook yourself, Dead Hard is activated. While running, press E to gain endurance for 0.5 seconds. That's it. Wait! I'm not done yet. This isn't a bad perk by any means. When the killer is about to swing or is swinging, press E and you'll literally be golden. This is an insane perk because you can do this at any time. There is no timer for when you can do this, only a limit. 1 Dead Hard per hook, which means the second one will be harder. The killer may remember that you have Dead Hard and will only walk over to you to bait it. This and ping is the only reason why this is number 9 and not higher. Other than that, a very skill varied perk that can come in clutch in a dire situation. Healing on a hook is a risky move, especially if the killer plans to tunnel that person out. Resurgence, either way, always gets value. Resurgence is a perk where if you are unhooked, 70% of the healing bar is already filled. So simple, yet so incredible. There is no such thing as wasting your time healing someone on hook when you have this perk, especially if you are unhooked in the basement. Pair this up with either Botany Knowledge will make it or do no harm. Yeah, you are more than just chillin'. This perk literally has no downside except you need to be healthy in order to use it. Finesse is our number 7 and it makes you vault 20% faster every 30 seconds. Such an amazing perk because it can make you dodge a killer swing while you vault a window or pallet. Something so satisfying to hear. Listening to that swing sound effect hitting a wall is just... ooh. There's not much to say about Finesse other than you need to be healthy in order to vault faster and it has a cooldown. W perk because it makes looping more fun and of course safer. Okay, now we are getting into the more complicated perks. Complicated as it may be, this perk is absolutely game changing. Shoulder the Burden is a perk where you can transfer someone's hook state onto you. Whoa. The downside is, you scream and are exposed for 40 seconds. Let's say someone on your team is Death Hook, and you have 0 hooks. No worries, just give them -1 hook state, and transfer it to you. Crazy perk. If you have a team of 4, absolutely use this perk. It does wonders. The only wrong thing I can say about this perk is maybe in solo queue. Some players are dumb, so use this wisely. There are only 2 perks in Dead by Daylight that can allow you to unhook yourself. Those 2 being Deliverance and Wicked. Both of these perks are really good, but out of these 2, number 5 definitely goes to Deliverance, and there is no competition. While Wicked is good, Deliverance is on another planet of being insane. When you safely unhook someone and are on 0 hooks, you have a 100% chance to unhook yourself. However, this will leave you broken for 60 seconds, meaning you cannot be healed. This is such an amazing perk to bring because it means people can stay on gens and you don't have to worry about anyone getting you. It's on your time. I have to say though, this perk sucks if the killer goes for you first and you get downed. But other than that, it's an absolutely insane perk to bring even in solo queue. Tunneling. What a horrible way to die. Tunneling, in my opinion, is a boring way to play the game when survivors are on 5 gens. But when there are perks to make tunneling a nightmare, you should absolutely be running off the record. What does this perk do, Naymeti? Well, let me tell you this. After being unhooked, you gain endurance, no grunts of pain, no aura reading on you for 80 seconds. Do I have to explain why this perk is godly? I will anyways. First of all, no aura reading. Second, endurance. All for 80 seconds. Oh my goodness. I understand that if you do a conspicuous action, these effects will disappear. But that doesn't matter when the killer doesn't go for you. You can take hits for a teammate and can get tunneled less because of this one perk that has multiple effects in it. Definitely number 4. I thought to myself when I put this perk in number 3, is this better than off the record? And honestly, if you think that this should be switched to number 4, then that's fine. But I do think maybe this is better than off the record. At number 3, we have Decisive Strike. After being unhooked for 60 seconds, Decisive Strike is activated. When the killer picks you up during this timer, a difficult skill check will appear. When you hit this skill check, you stun the killer for 4 seconds. I think this is such an insane perk because it stuns the killer for picking you up. The animation that plays after downing a survivor is around 1 to 5 or 2 seconds. Then picking them up is 3 seconds or so. Then another 4 that stuns the killer. Such a time waster for someone who is either tunneling or just so happened to run into you again. Decisive Strike is such an amazing perk. I didn't want to put 2 perks in one spot, but I had to. Both of these perks are just so good. So good. You get value out of them every time if you use them right. The perks in question are Sprint Burst and Lithe. 50% haste for 3 seconds by running or vaulting. Boy, where do I even begin? Sprint Burst is incredible for starting a chase. You throw the killer off guard by running at Mach 3 speed and gain enough distance to begin looping them. And as for Lithe, this is used during a chase, or it can be starting to. These perks are at number 2 because they make distance, which is the number 1 priority when you are looping a killer, especially for Nurse, Kaneki, Blight, you get the idea. The only downside to these perks is the exhaustion timer. Sprint Burst is the more skillful perk to use out of these 2, but even still, it doesn't matter. Such an amazing perk. Both deserve number 2. Let me know in the comments what you think is the better one out of the 2. But now, it's time for the number 1 best perk in Dead by Daylight. Alright, it's time for me to get serious. I don't think there is any perk in the game that can ever be as good as this perk when it comes to Dead by Daylight. I mean, there will never be a perk like this one. I know a lot of people might not agree with what I'm about to put, especially one person that I know is watching this video, but the number one best perk in Dead by Daylight is Windows of Opportunity. Okay, let me explain. I know, this perk does not give you haste, endurance, silent grunts, aura reading, etc. It only shows windows and pallets in a 32-meter range. But what it does give you is more knowledge. I'm putting this at number 1 because of 2 main reasons. Number 1, it's so good for new players. I don't think you understand how amazing Windows is for new players. Looping is literally essential for being good at the game. This perk teaches new players where to go when being chased instead of running like a headless chicken. Tell me in the comments, is there any other perk like Windows that teaches you how to be good at the game? Number 2, it shows you where dead zones are. I understand that some players are experienced enough to tell you where dead zones are, such as Shack pallet is dropped, that cinema area has no pallet, God pallet in the office room is gone. I get it. But can you hear people in solo queue? I thought as much. This perk, in my opinion, has no drawbacks and no negative effects. This perk is good for new players and players who are already experienced with the game as well. No, you don't need Windows if you're confident with looping. But if you want to use it well, you know where pallets are and you know where not to go. Windows, without a doubt, is number 1. And that's it. Let me know what you thought of my list, what perks could be left out or involved, and make sure to like and subscribe. With that, I'll see you all next time.